Okay, this video is nurse conversation number 2. I made a video about a conversation with this nurse about a year ago. So it all started out, I was talking to a fat lady in the hallway, trying to give her some advice about nutrition and health, something that I do all the time. And moments later in the lunchroom, the staff lunchroom, the nurse says to me, "Why do you bother? You know she's not going to listen to you. She's been fat for a long time. She's always going to be fat." And me, I go, well, I'm programmed to do it, to talk about health and nutrition and stuff. All day long, I see all these fat, sick people, and they never get better. It's so easy to help them if only they would listen. Nurse, people don't want to change. They would rather have a short life eating meat and processed food and junk food than become vegans. Just get used to it. You know that's true. Me, yeah, but it's weird. You know, when I was a wrestler, everybody wanted to improve, to win. The athletes, the coaches, the fans. I really like wrestling. But it was smart. In medicine, it's different. No one cares. No one expects the patients to get better. Everyone just assumes they're chronic, they're sick forever, and it's kind of just the way it is. Nurse, you're right. The public thinks that America has the best healthcare system in the world, but in reality, it's a joke. The patients take all these pills, and they have all these surgeries, but they never get better. Me, well, that's why I wrote all those books. That's why I've made over 500 nutrition and toxicology videos on YouTube. I just wish there were better jobs in nutrition, that you could make money doing that stuff, or disease prevention fields. Nurse, you are wasting your time. No one reads your books. No one watches your videos. You effed up. You criticize big food and big pharma. All your books are shadow banned. All your videos are shadow banned. Me, it's impossible to teach people the truth about preventing disease without criticizing big food and big pharma at least a little bit. They have to realize that they're not going to get better down that path. Nurse, I think it's funny. The patients, the techs, the clerks, they're all too stupid to care about what you have to say. The only people who listen to you are the doctors. The doctors come to you for advice about their own problems, even in their own field, and about their family problems. Me, but they never invite me to speak in front of a group. Years ago, I would ask the docs when they would come by to see me if they'd like me to give their grand rounds conferences, or lecture to their residents. And they get a scared look in their eyes, and then they say, well, they'll get back to me, but they never do. In medicine, no one wants new information. Medicine is stupid. And no one wants new information because it might mean extra work. You got to take time explaining stuff to patients. You don't get paid for it. The vast majority of the patients aren't interested in it. You just go home late from work with no money, and eventually, if you don't see enough patients, you get in trouble at your job for not being productive. Okay, so you can't win down that path. Nurse, why do you stay with your wife when she insisted that you move out of the house that you loved? That would have been the perfect time to divorce her. Me, well, because I wanted to keep the family together. I wanted to see my kids more often. Kids, especially the boys, they do better when the father is with them. My youngest kid is still in college. My wife's more like a secretary than a wife. Nurse, like a secretary? What do you mean by that? Me, she protects my time so I can write books and make videos. She manages the house. I just write her a check once a month. She pays the bills. She takes care of all the dogs. My wife, my mother-in-law, my daughter, they all cook for me. I don't have to waste any time. Hey, why are you smiling? Nurse, I can't help noticing that even someone like you, with all your achievements, isn't happy. And our other Mr. Perfect doctor also has an effed up life. It makes me feel better about my own life. Nurse continues, and I figured out why you don't want to leave your wife. Me, why? Nurse, because if you moved out, you would have to cook for yourself and manage the house, and you wouldn't have time to write your books and make your YouTube videos. You're trapped in a healthcare job that doesn't appreciate smart people and only cares about money, and in a lousy marriage, and that's why you're not happy. Me, I'm happy. Nurse, no, you're not. You're in a loveless marriage. No other woman would ever want you except for your money, and you will never have another romantic relationship in your life. And by the way, how come you're not more attracted to your wife? She's very beautiful. You used to say she looked like Marilyn Monroe. Me, she got really fat about 10 years ago, and she doesn't want to become a vegan, so she can't lose the weight. Men can't help it. They're not attracted to fat women. And after we left the old house, we weren't on the best terms, and we pretty much stopped talking to each other except for about the kids. And now the kids are grown up, and our schedules are different. So we've almost never talked to each other for 10 years. Nurse, ha! You can't even convince your own family about the vegan diet. Your life is so messed up. I know why you're not. I know you're not happy. But why do you seem so happy? Me. Well, I'm grateful to God that He made me so smart and He gave me so much energy. The PhDs who write most of the research papers, they don't even understand the significance of their own work. It's, like Watson and Crick figured out the structure of DNA, not from their own research, but from studying the work of all the PhDs. And as it turns out, they're unable to put it all together. When I read the papers in nutrition, pathophysiology, biochemistry, nutrition, toxicology, etc., I'm one of the very few people in the world who can read in all the different areas and figure out comprehensive mechanisms of disease causation. Understanding the causes of a disease is what enables you to prevent it or to treat it. There are lots of people who never get better in a wide variety of diseases, but they're actually curable. They need someone like me to teach them what to do. And also, I don't sell anything, and I don't have any corporate sponsors, which makes me free to tell the truth. You have no idea how rare that is. Me. When my daughter graduates, I'm going to retire and then rewrite the textbooks in nutrition, pathophysiology, and toxicology. Nurse, ha! Your daughter will probably go for a PhD. By the time she finishes, you will be too old and tired to write any books. Next time you criticize Big Food or Big Pharma, they'll probably ban you from YouTube. No one has ever heard of you. No one is ever going to hear of you. But I do want to thank you for telling me about your problems. You've put me in a good mood.